I'm not sucking up to my board member, Bob Cooper here, but when I mentioned that I had worked for NBA for a year and my responsibility was working with CEOs of many of the children's agencies, and Bob Cooper was one of them. Bob, Mark Palmer, a number of other leaders, as Bob had mentioned, just outstanding in their field, especially the children's program, in the child welfare arena. They were leaders across the country that people would turn to them around expertise. And I remember meeting Bob, meeting some of the others for the first time, just thinking, I don't know what I'm doing in this job. And Bob being very gracious and welcoming, and didn't pat me on the back and send me on my way, but very gracious as he continues to be today. And then the other thing I do want to lift up is Rick Lance. I did not have the pleasure of working for him or knowing him until I was called to this job in his position as president of NBA 6.5 years ago. And once I came in this role, I knew immediately that I wanted to make contact with Rick to go visit with him. He served as the president he was the third one back, and so he had been retired for a while. But I knew I wanted to sop up his wisdom and his knowledge. And so again, walking into that first meal at the Olive Garden, he loved the Olive Garden is my impression, to meet him and just kind of being overwhelmed of, here's a giant whose shoulders I stand on, that we all stand on. And it was a beautiful encounter and enjoyed my times when I got to see him. And today, as Bob mentioned, the family, and Janice, you have mentioned, the staff was a family and there was purpose, and really lived into what we do best as care. And I like to think that we are continuing in that legacy. So we still will use that term, what we do best as care, and also our term of call to care, call together, call to care, really I think embodies those folks that have gone before us.
Carry on.
But I do want to give a word of gratitude to Janice Lance. It has been a joy to see you as always. So thank you. Thank you. And a word of gratitude to Mary Lou and to Bob for their leadership with MBA, their leadership prior to MBA, and always grateful to, I love being on a panel with them. I'm never on a panel with them, so anytime I can be on a panel with them, I will. So thank you. I want to thank you for being present for today to celebrate 130 years. And as the video said, we are called together, called to care, but yet we know there is more to be done. We've done a lot in 130 years, but we know there's still more to do. So we're going to close our time together, and then there's refreshments, so mingle, enjoy. We're going to close our time with a reflection from a blessing statement from the Reverend Ben Bourne. We heard from him earlier, the Director of Church Relations for MBA. He continues to work with us with the Explore program, so we continue to reap his gifts, which we're grateful for. So we're going to close with a blessing on the 130 years of ministry. Gracious God, we look back to move forward, remembering all those who have come before us in MBA's 130 years of ministry. We remember the struggles, the successes, the growth, the transitions, and the innovations that have brought us here today. We celebrate the partnerships and collaborations that embody our vision of creating communities of compassion and care.
As we look ahead to the weeks, months, and years of ministry ahead, may the words of Jesus never allow us to do nothing. For I was hungry, and you fed me, thirsty, and you gave me drink, a stranger, and you welcomed me, sick, and you took care of me, naked, and you clothed me, in prison, and you visited me. Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine. You did it for me.
How wonderful that the ministries of NBA have known these words for 130 years. How wonderful that all of you gathered here could share your words and memories. Oh God, write these words on our hearts and remind us always of the work and care that we are called to continually do. In the name of the one who has called us to serve, amen.
Amen. Go in peace.